and welcome to What's Up Life Science, a series where we invite voices from life science ecosystem to share with us their experiences and journey. And today with me, I have Manoush Masarrat, the CEO of Inhalation Sciences, a company that helps you reduce the risk of the clinical development of your inhaled pharmaceutical with high precision preclinical aerosol testing. And on an area which is known to be very complex and costly. But let's hear it directly from the host's mouth. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for being here. So you went from being a product company to a more service-based company in IRS, Inhalation Research Services, right?
Correct.
And it's all through your platform technology. So for people who are new to Inhalation Sciences, what does this company actually do?
Yes, thank you for the invitation. And what we do, we have a platform technology around PreciseInhale, which is our proprietary technology. We have patents on in several different applications and modules. And what we do basically, we have through our founders, we have this platform technology which helps the drug discovery and the inhalation society to know which formulations, which substances that work out well in the clinical phase, but already at very, very early stage at preclinical, i.e. saving tremendous amount of time and cost. This is what we do. And by doing so, the studies that we know will fail, we will provide that information to the customers. And that is our most important added value compared to what is out there in terms of conventional methods.
You mentioned the PreciseInhale, which is your main asset. How does that work, and why does it stand out from the competitors?
Well, during the last 30, 40 years, the standard method of inhalation has been through conventional methods, where in our world, what we call standard deviation, and standard deviation in terms of the comparison is that how it differs from the clinical data. The standard deviation for conventional methods has been over 50%, where we have the data that we have shown and we have published that our standard deviation compared to clinical data is less than 10%, i.e. much more precise data early on. And that is something that we have shown in both studies, including the big FDA-supported study that we have shown that we can predict the outcome already at the preclinical stage to know how different formulation will act later on.
Good that you brought this up, because your DissolvIt has received a lot of attention by FDA, and they have also funded a study. How does that impact your company?
For sure. To just start with, there is no standard dissolution method in the market. We collaborated with FDA on this project, which they supported for a 2 years project, and they supported the study for $500,000, fully supported by FDA, and there have been a lot of applications to FDA. We have been one of the few that have been chosen. So that itself is an accomplishment. And this 2 years study that we did, it was through 16 different formulations that FDA chose. And at the end of the study that was finalized a year ago, we could show, and it has been confirmed by FDA, that our technology through DissolvIt could predict the clinical outcome, which has been helping us a lot in our discussions with our potential customers, already partners. We have received a lot of attention on that, especially in line with the guidelines from FDA that also came end of 2 years ago, where they have now recommended to have dissolution studies in inhalation studies, basically. Before that, it was nice to have. Now it's recommended. So with having a FDA-validated technology by DissolvIt, we have had a lot of good discussions and have won a lot of quotations and converted to orders because of that collaborations with FDA.
So they almost have to come to you.
Well, yes, if they want to have good, precise data that has been FDA qualified, that would definitely be something.
And how are you using this momentum in your favor?
With every single time we're talking with the customers, we are using it because that is, beforehand, we have had a lot of data obviously, of course, but we couldn't share the data because that was customer data. Now it's first time that we can share the data with the public because it has been FDA, together with FDA, and it has something that we have done. And that is something that we can use the information on how the solution has been working through DissolvIt, and then on the outcome, which has helped us a lot in our discussions.
You mentioned customers. So who are your customers and what is the market value?
The customers are everything from big pharmaceutical companies. Many of them have been with us many, many years, such as the big Italian pharmaceutical company called Chiesi, AstraZeneca. And a lot of our modules, we have both in vitro, in vivo, and ex vivo modules that are connected to PreciseInhale. They have been developed together and with collaborations with these customers, which we are very happy with. These customers are everything from big pharmaceutical companies, it's academia, it's other CRO companies that have different solutions and other services that we can work together and complement each other. So this is a combination of different customers.
Environmental research, right?
And even Fraunhofer, the big German environmental society in Germany, is one of our customers as well.
So last year you had a right issue and you mentioned that there will be no more need for capital injection. And you were supposed to focus a lot on sale, commercialization,
yes,
and partnership. And you have had a pretty good Q1 report in 2026.
Correct.
With a good revenue. Would you elaborate a little bit on that?
For sure. We have been very close to be a break-even in the last 3 years. We have had a couple of tough years in 24 and 25, we and many other companies, because of the
geopolitical situation.
Exactly. But it has... we have started to see the light at the very end of the tunnel, and we see that a lot of discussions that we have had during the last, say, 2-3 years have started to give results, and we have been able to convert them to orders. This is something that we just need to continue to push. The main focus is commercial activities, sales, as you mentioned. We don't do any R&D anymore unless it's in collaboration and financed by customers. That is very key element of our work, that the only investment that we do is in commercial activities, and hopefully we will be in a profitable situation very soon.
And you have also mentioned about the M&A process. Is there anything you can update on?
Yes, we have been public about it, that we are in the middle of M&A discussions through our partner Pharma Ventures in UK. We have had a number of discussions, and they are ongoing, but obviously we cannot reveal anything until it's finalized, if anything comes out of it, obviously we will be public about it through the official channels, by press release and everything.
So it's a little bit difficult if I would like to ask what will be the next milestones in 2026, because it will depend on...
It will definitely depend on how it goes, that process, and if not, for whatever reason, obviously we have to see what we do next and how we do it. But we started this process by Pharma Ventures end of last year, and hopefully with knowing how that process will go, that will define how we will move forward from here.
So my last question is, why is ESAP a good investment case?
I have been answering that question so many times, but I mean, based on what we have done so far during the last 10 plus years, we have unique technology that definitely, with the data that we have shown, that is much more precise than what is out there. You will know which formulations work out and most importantly, which formulations won't work. We use the term fail early, fail cheap. The sooner you know, the better, because then you know that you can say, and that information we have received from several customers that they have thanked us. Thank you. Then we know that these formulations won't fly. Then we need to go to a drawing board and start all over again, which confirms what we do. And we have done a lot of commercial activities to basically increase the awareness that potential customers that should know of us, understand the difference between us and conventional method, and how they can bring this on their technology and ongoing basis. Because again, that is something that truly, by the data that we have delivered, we know that we are much more precise at much earlier stage compared to what is out there. And that is our most important USP.
Very suitable name.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
And we will continue. I will go to the lab to actually see the PreciseInhale.
Fantastic.
Maria is waiting for me. Thanks for giving us your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
So now that we have learned about inhalation sciences from Manoush, I will go to the lab to meet Maria and see the PreciseInhale with my own eyes. Follow me. Hello, Maria.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
So this is the PreciseInhale instrument.
Yes, it is.
How does this work?
It is an aerosol generator, and it is the core of our technology platform. So you generate aerosols, and everything is steered by a computer. I can just open the software here. So if you have a dry powder, you can weigh it and load it in this powder chamber. Then we place that inside the machine. And this machine is coupled to high pressurized air. And when starting the aerosol generation with the computer, an aerosol is generated upwards here in the holding chamber. When it's homogenized, the aerosol inside here, you will start to extract it, to pull it out here to the object you have placed here. And that could be everything from a cascade impactor to determine the sizes of the particles you have generated, or deposit it on a glass cover slips to look at the dissolution of the particles. Or also you can place cell cultures or animals.
Wow, this is great. You can do both in vivo and in vitro testing with the same instrument.
Yes, and that's kind of the aim with the instrument too, to be able to use the same equipment or method throughout the testing cycle.
And you have different modules for that, right?
Yeah.
Which will be connected to
Exactly.
this part. What modules are being used mostly right now?
I would say different type of animal experiments and also the dissolution testing.
And you also have that possibility here in Flemingsberg.
Exactly. So all the in vitro work is kind of performed here in our labs up here, but then we also have a room at the animal facility where we can perform animal experiments.
And what happens next?
Yes, so follow me here.
Sure, interesting.
So we have now generated samples with the PreciseInhale, and one thing that could happen is that it ends up here in the HPLC machine, which measures concentrations. So for example, if we're going to determine the sizes of the particles in the aerosol, then we capture it on filters with PreciseInhale, and then we extract the powder from the filters, analyzing it here with the HPLC, and then get concentration values and are able to determine how big the particles are inside the aerosol. Another option, if we have deposited aerosol on glass cover slips and are going to perform dissolution studies, then we use our module here, DissolvIt, where you place a glass cover slip onto the microscope, and it is coupled to pumps and a fraction collector, and also steered by a computer. And here you in real time could study the dissolution. Here you also generate samples with different concentrations to be able to later on get an absorption curve that is similar to PK curves in humans. And those samples we are shipping to another lab because we need to be able to detect lower concentrations than we are able to.
And this is exactly why you can predict how the results from preclinical studies will show in the clinical studies.
Yeah, that's some studies we have done, also using PreciseInhale for doing a clinical study and then see how well does that correlate to the in vitro data we generate here. And seen some correlations there, which also is, of course, very good for customers that want to look at that.
Thank you so much for having
you.
us.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
See you.
Bye-bye.